Oh shit! But messed up the music. Let's go, man. We in here.
Oh wait, you fucked it up like that?
My music. Look, My music went out, bro.
I thought you were just trying to get it straight. I didn't know how to stop.
No, man.
Oh shit, man. Hey man, yo.
No, man. I was hitting everything. Look, I'm sitting here hitting the button and my music. All right. Well, that was a. Let me not trip on it.
That was
We'll
a
play it on the
snippet.
outro. Let's go, man. Roll less risky, Chris Blake. We in here, man. We was having a heck of a conversation earlier, man. We decided to spread that word, man, because you were talking to something the other day, man, and I said, yo, let's bring it to the people, right?
Yes,
Hit
yes.
that subscribe button if you are not, man. It's gonna be an interesting conversation, maybe. Let's throw this back and forth. Let's talk about the male ego, man. It
It's a
was
motherfucker, man.
interesting. It was some interesting stories that came out, so we definitely get into those. Talk about Adam Levine, Ime Udoka, Act recently jumped out there. That was kind of, you can definitely put that in the category of some ego-ish, right?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Where you want to go with this first, man? Let's talk about the male ego, man. Is it a first of all, everybody got an ego, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. But the male ego is it's like another monster though, man. That shit could drive us like to the point of fucking just falling completely off. Like, that shit could really drive us to the point of like, man, I don't know, where does it end? Because sometimes our ego tells us we can do shit that we can't do and it works out. Then sometimes it tells us we do shit that we can't do and then it fails miserably. It's never really a middle ground with that motherfucker, is it, man?
Yeah, man. I think that ego, I don't know, bro, because it's like, it depends on what you're trying to be, right? When you're talking about an ego, I think for every, because they always talk about for every great man, right? I think to be a great man, you got to have a healthy ego, right?
Oh yeah, you do.
You got to have a healthy ego to be a great man, first and foremost. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And sometimes, man, having a big ego is sometimes just being irrational about stuff, how you approach things. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
You know what I mean?
It's when that motherfucker's unchecked that when they go like wild though. It's like having an ego that's slightly checked. Cause truthfully, man, like, yo, my ego been hit before. As we age, you know what I mean? Like by my early 20s, you couldn't tell me a goddamn thing. From fucking 0 to what, maybe 30. My ego didn't get hit till I was damn near 30. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, and actually I did some pretty good things with that ego. And that fucking, steam that I had that told me I could do it. Only saw the upside, never the downside. Only saw the upside. So that shit does work out. But it's like when that shit unchecked and then you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, or then you make a fucking large mistake, that's when it's like, hold on, man, let me step back and like reevaluate this shit. But some people don't do that. Some people just keep fucking up.
I always talk about the line from The Godfather, right? Where they said women and children can be careless, right? Men don't. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury to be careless in life. You know what I'm saying?
At all, dude. At all. But sometimes that young, crazy, ego-driven energy, it can take you somewhere. Sometimes, but that's a good line. That's a good quote. But sometimes, man, that shit works out so well.
I think at that point though, I would consider you still a child. Like now that I've gotten older, what I consider a kid is probably older than what most young people would consider a kid.
What you consider?
I think you're a kid really until you're about, like, for me, I still call people kid pretty much under like 23 and under.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna be on some Italian shit called niggas kid when they 40.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm about like if you're 23 and under, I'm still thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving you a pass saying you don't know right from wrong. But when you say certain stuff, I'm like, that's a kid talking. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even tripping on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised you didn't say 25, because truthfully, I give them to like 25, really 27 maybe. 27.
Yeah, I just think that by the time,
closer to 30 and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because my thing is, like, I feel like if I call you, if I refer to you at my age as kid at 23, that's a little bit more palatable. I think once you're there 25 mark, you kind of look, you feel like you on that hill getting ready to slide to them late 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope that you got a level of maturity.
Man, we were idiots till we were probably like 30. Or should I just?
This is very true. This is very fact.
This is very fact. Like, come on, like.
Let's not get it twisted.
I know I was an idiot until about 35. Like.
Yeah, I think it's stages though, right? So maybe it goes from a kid to now you just like a young dumb MF who don't really know nothing. You don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? there's a medium between. There's a medium between being a kid and adulthood. There's a I don't know what the age bracket is, but there's a range of just young dumb mother effer. You know what I'm saying?
So what about your man's though? That nigga like 50, ain't he? He
Who that?
pulled some egotistical kid shit that I'm like, damn, a 50-year-old nigga shouldn't be doing that. Ime Udoka.
Oh, Ime, shout out to listen.
Let's start with him, man, because
so what's the latest on him? Because this kind of information kind of keeps trickling out. So what's the latest on Ime Udoka?
Funny shit, man. Maybe a couple hours ago, because I fuck with Vlad. I know some people don't fuck with Vlad, but I fuck with him. And he got Matt Barnes on the show.
Okay. Because Matt jumped out the window initially.
I don't know what he said, like that was so bad that he had to come back and retract it. But he was on Vlad, and they were kind of alluding to what happened. He slept with somebody that had to be a high ranking or whatever. But like some people think it might be the VP of basketball operations type shit, like his wife or something like that. But he slept with somebody that he had no business fucking. What it sounded like. I don't know if he was fucking like multiple women in the organization, but it just sounded like, he went off the deep end. To get suspended for a year, you had to fuck somebody that really meant something.
Yeah, man. So, see, that's what when you're talking about that ego part, we were talking a minute ago about not being checked. When you get a certain level of prestige, power, right? You get to a level, man. Listen, he coming off a finals run, got a young team. He a young coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not 50. He probably like 45.
Nah, he a young coach. Now, listen, when I'm saying all of this, two things I want to make very, very clear. Number one, people cheat every day, B, right? We ain't talking about that, number one. Number two, we ain't on here tonight just gonna we ain't finna be caping for women talking about this male ego stuff. We just talking some real talk, right? So I ain't tripping on like no cheating. What we're talking about is like the circumstances behind it is like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody who watches this show always talk about one thing when it comes to cheating, that there's a difference between disrespectful and respectful cheating. The type of cheating he was doing was super disrespectful.
That's because what I'm hearing, man.
What I heard, I saw one article was talking about like the one of the women, because apparently they're saying there's multiple women.
Multiple.
Yeah, they saying one of the women was somebody who like ended up arranging while he was knocking her off, she was also calling his wife to or not his wife, but she was calling Nia Long to arrange like her travel because she was moving out to Boston. So she was like coordinating all that travel and getting the stuff moved out. Yeah, that's dirt.
Side piece doing all that. That's love. Damn.
Yeah, you can't have your side piece that close to your man. You did.
That's some dumb shit right there. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, damn. Okay, I think this nigga a young coach, but like, fam, come on, man, think about that. You got that's really sloppy, dude.
But look, see, that's the thing, though. The ego. See, listen, people can be good in one thing, and that. So, like, here's a good example: Tiger Woods, right? Like, without question, top 3 golfers of all time, right? Without question. Tiger was so good in his sport, and his ego was so big because he knew he was so good in that sport that it started going beyond just golf. So now he thinks that he can go out here and knock off IHOP waitresses, you know what I'm saying, wholesale. And the problem with that was that he's not good at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now he's leaving voicemails talking about, hey, it's Tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Tiger. That's some fucking crazy shit, man.
Yeah. So now he's leaving those types of texts, those type of voicemails, you know what I'm saying?
Like, how could he not know that? But it's like, okay, so with Ime, right? So he got his side bitch, like, doing all the work, with side woman doing all the work for his main chick. It's crazy, man. You made Nia Long your baby mama. Of all women to make your baby mom, like, you ain't married, you just made your baby mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. I understand his ego was inflated. Like, everybody been wanting Nia Long forever. Shit, J. Cole got a line in the song about it. Pretty famous line in the song, but like everybody been wanting her forever. He made her his baby mom, and then the motherfucker is a young coach of like a championship caliber basketball team. So how can your ego not be fucked up? But it's like, at what point do you not look at yourself and say, "Damn, man, I'm getting a little bit too out of hand"?
Well, who around him is gonna say, you know what I'm saying? It get to a point like who around you is gonna say, "Yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you should chill." You know what I'm saying?
That's like rock and roll star rapper type shit, though. This nigga doing that type of shit, like, God damn, dude.
All right. Well, okay. Hold on. Hold on. The big homie lost his connection. Let's get it back. Let's get it back. Let's get it back. Hold on. Let me get him dialed back up. All right. If y'all join us tonight, man, we talking about. Let me get the homie back on real quick. We talking about the male ego, right? There's a lot that goes into it, man. We talking about Ime Udoka right now, and his whole scenario that he had going on is crazy because when you look at Ime, he was an assistant for a very long time over there in San Antonio. Just got this head coaching job, gets to the finals super early, having a lot of success. And when I hear stuff come out like that out of an organization, it's always like, okay, well, who leaked it out and why? Was there? And if the rumors are true that he was messing with somebody that's a VP, then maybe because it came from up so high, they wanted to quote unquote make an example or come down with a heavy hand. You know what I'm saying? But the ego part, I think with him is that man, if you think that you can be around your staff and that you're and again, it could. Some people gonna say, well, hey man, he was just hitting it, right? Dudes be horny, right? But there's a bit of ego that comes with if you think that you can have sex with this woman and then also have her going over there to coordinate with your baby moms about moving down to Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much ego that goes into that, bro, for you to even have the audacity. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see. I don't know what happened with Chris Blake. He finna come back up. But yeah, so the ego with that is just, it's insane for you to think that you can pull all that off. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Adam Levine, right? Who was also got caught up in some cheating recently. When I say caught up in the cheating again, I don't really care about the cheating aspect of it. It's the circumstances around it, right? That's what always is the interesting part to me. So with the Adam Levine thing, you start seeing a couple of things that came out. One were just these weird text messages. It's always fun to look at these dudes that come out with these text messages, and it's like, bro, like you ain't ever been around no women or nothing, fam. Like I know you're a rock star, Adam, and women been throwing themselves at you, but you sending weird text messages, and then you talking about you want to name one of your kids after her. It's like, you know, it's like, bro, like really, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to sometimes take a step back, bro, because as a man myself, and when you are striving for success, like Chris Blake was talking about, one of the things that you do, what up, Courtney? Courtney here tonight. One of the things that you do when you're striving for success, man, is you got to put on blinders and you got to go hard body. You ain't listening to no naysayers. You know what I'm saying? Kanye got the line. What's the line? I can't think of that line, man. He had, oh, any pessimists, I ain't talk to them. Plus, I ain't had no phone in my apartment, right? What do you say? He says the whole Ime situation is whack. I don't like that we only know one part. Why are the protection of the women? See, this is the interesting part, right? So we're gonna get into this more tomorrow night on the Wednesday night show, but I'll go here, right? I think the main reason is because of his position, right? I think this is where the ego part comes in, is like who he is and what he represents. He's somebody that's an authority figure there because he's the head coach of the team. Even though we know the head coach is probably third, fourth highest in charge. You got the owner of the team, you got the president of basketball operations, you got the GM, stuff like that. And then you get down to the coach, but the coach is always going to be the face. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes those coaches, like with the San Antonio Spurs, Popovich doesn't necessarily run the team, but he runs the team, right? He's been there so long, he's so recognizable that you wield a lot of power, man, a lot of influence. And you know this, everybody knows this. Everybody who has a job, you get that talk, that conversation about having relations with your subordinates because you are in a position of power, right? And if you're a subordinate man, how are you looking at? I'm sorry, if you're that person with the power. I'm not excusing nobody, Courtney. To your point, I'm not excusing the woman or the women because it is speculation that it's women now. But my thing was, at least initially it came out, everybody was saying that the relationships were consensual. And let me make that disclaimer. If everything's consensual in all these situations, who cares, right? As long as we're talking consensual stuff. You dig what I'm saying? My thing was that people were saying that maybe there's something else out there. At least there was at least one report that said there's one woman who was, or one assistant on the team who was saying, I guess they were having a consensual relationship. Maybe she broke it off, and now she was on some like, hey, he's still making advances. That's what stuff just always gets too weird. You know what I'm saying? With those type of office relationships, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Is that like when it goes bad here for everybody. You dig? So it gets crazy, bro. You know what I mean? And shout out to Udoka. I think he's a heck of a coach. But these types of, why would you, is it that deep for him to listen, bro, if he wanted to just have sex with somebody, he could have went anywhere and had sex. Why have, and I get it. I always tell women that men cheat based on proximity. That's the number one thing for women and men. Women cheat for different reasons. Men typically is just proximity. You dig what I'm saying? Something that's pretty close. We ain't really tripping on that. This is why somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger can have a baby by the maid that looks the way she looks. No disrespect. You dig? Is that it's about a proximity thing. This is why people talk about like all these rappers and entertainers that end up dating and being with the same people. They just around the same. This is the circle. These are the people that can get into these spots. You dig? Okay, Courtney said, I don't think that it matters. If he did wrong, was violate organizational rules, that's all I needed to know. The details are irrelevant. Just suspend him and move on. Yeah, but the problem is, though, is that like the internet got involved, I believe, Courtney. Is that like, because what happened was when they put out, so Boston probably should have handled this different in putting it out. Because once you put it out that he was messing with somebody on the staff, immediately the internet goes to work and they start looking up who's all on the staff or looking up what women are in the organization. And it's that one sister that's on there, the black chick. I think she played in the WNBA. I don't remember her name, and I don't want to call it out, but decent looking young lady. You know what I'm saying? People like, oh, this got to be her right here. He had to be hitting this. You dig what I'm saying? And then people say, oh, damn, guess what? We looked in the research, she's married. So it's the internet that's really driving a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? That's driving a lot of that conversation. Because I would ask you this, Courtney, if we're going to suspend him, shouldn't we also suspend the other person too, right? These are two consenting adults, right? So shouldn't we just suspend everybody across the board at that point? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think we should just probably suspend everybody if we're gonna suspend folks. You dig? That's what I would say. If we're gonna start the suspensions, let's just suspend everybody at this point then. Because if we're not gonna suspend everybody, unless the team, well, no, because even the team rule is, the subordinate thing. Everybody's culpable. This was a consensual relationship, at least what I've heard to this point. So I would say, man, listen, if we're gonna suspend, everybody got to get some discipline in here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to get some discipline, because what she should have done. Now, look, if she gonna say, well, I was afraid for my job, well, then that means maybe it wasn't consensual. If it was consensual, that means you weren't afraid for your job. So what you should have done when he came with these advances was holler at management. Hey, this is what's going on. I don't want it to be weird, but this is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a gray area for me with him. But again, that's why we talking about this whole ego thing, man. Because I think that some of this stuff, man, that some of these guys, how these dudes are moving. We're gonna get to DJ Akademiks in a minute. Sometimes you got to step back and say, man, like, damn, man, it take a hellified ego to think you can pull all that off and keep it moving, right? And just keep it pushing. Because look, how the hell do they have, first of all, they got to fight. They have to fire him. They have to. How the hell do you come back to the team after a year? Like, how do you come back to the team after sitting out a year now? To do what? Is the staffer going to still be there? This person on the staff, are they still there now? Because if they are, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. And I say that because because look, you got a whole team of men that just made it to the NBA Finals, a young coach, a young team, a young core, young superstars. Now your coach is going to be gone for a year. How can he come back now and try to instill discipline or this, that, and the other? Anytime something happens with that staffer, if he yells, if he gets upset, it's going to always go back to, oh, he just mad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's going to create a work environment to where, unless he's just kissing this person's ass figuratively, how is he able to? Because sometimes, bro, in the heat of battle, in a game, you saying stuff to assistants. In a film session, you might get mad because an assistant's job was to chart certain stuff. They didn't do it right, or they, whatever the hell it may be, and you may lose it a little bit. Is that going to be misconstrued now? You dig? You understand? So unless everybody's catching some discipline, I'm confused. You dig? I'm confused unless everybody gonna catch this discipline. If not, then what are we doing? You know? Hey man, it's Rolex Risky in here, man. I'm waiting for Chris Blake to jump back on. He has some internet connections. Maybe JC might be pulling up here in a second, man. Let's keep the conversation rolling though. Shout out to Courtney in the chat. Everybody else, if you're in here, man, jump in the chat, make that live than what it was. Let's talk DJ Akademiks though, man. Because Act, you know, he's known for doing some wild stuff. Now, some of his ain't necessary. Well, I guess some of his is ego as well, because he's now garnered a certain amount of respect and amount of he's definitely carved out a space in hip hop. Definitely the voice of the young people in hip hop. And you know, he said two sets of things that he said recently. One was about the quote unquote pioneers of rap, referring to them as broke and dusty. And in the other situation, when he was talking about Reginae Carter, daughter of Lil Wayne, he was talking about her whole relationship, which was, you know, again, I don't really watch Acts Twitch streams like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not really for me. He on there getting drunk, playing video games, talking crazy. That ain't really for me. Although, you know me, I like to sip. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna just, I pop in every now and again, but I don't really watch him like that. And the reason I say for Act, I'm sitting back, and it's funny, if you've watched Act before, you've seen his ego grow, right? And I think it's natural. I'm not knocking it. I said at the beginning of the show, everybody got an ego. Anybody who's successful has an even bigger ego. You have to, right? But to watch his ego grow to where it is now, not saying that he wasn't, because people say, oh, he was always talking crazy. He was always, not saying he wasn't, right? But now it's one thing to talk a certain way when nobody's watching you and nobody knows it, right? It's another thing to talk a certain way when you know people in this industry, you've built some relationships, you know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, with certain people, he wouldn't say certain stuff about. He even tried to catch himself on the Reginae thing. He was like, oh, let me not call her a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was, so that's what I'm saying. People know what they should and shouldn't do. I just think sometimes with Act, he has, his ego has gotten a little bit bigger, not a little, a lot damn bigger. Let me be honest, man. You know what I'm saying? He came a long way from the Warren Chirac to where he is now. Spotify, shows, you know what I'm saying? Podcasts. He's at the point now, I always say somebody is great at what they're doing if you can't tell the story of what, like, we always talk about, like, is somebody a Hall of Famer in a sport? You know, the old adage is, can you tell the story of said sport without mentioning that person, right? If somebody gets their jersey retired at a college or at a high school or for their team, it's like, can you tell the story of the New York Yankees without Derek Jeter? No, right? So you got to retire his stuff, right? Because you can't tell that story. It's a couple guys that were really good on those teams, but you can technically tell the whole story of them without really mentioning their name. Ack, I don't know if he's there yet, but I think Ack is kind of getting to that point in hip hop where Akademiks, I'm not sure if you know, he may already be there to where I'm not sure that you could tell the story of hip hop. It definitely hip hop over the last 10 years without mentioning DJ Akademiks. And the reason I'm saying it, like, you're talking about this male ego thing, the reason I'm saying, like, yo, Ack with the ego ish might be really bugging right now is because of exactly that. He knows that he has a spot in this game now. It's not like he's searching for it, he's trying to get to it. He has a spot, right? And I believe a healthy ego is one thing, but who's there to kind of check that ego sometimes and be like, nah, you bugging. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see sometimes, right? I'm on my old nigga rambling right now. Sometimes you see dudes get money and they start wearing certain stuff, and you like, you know what I mean? And nobody's checking, right? You see dudes start dressing weird when they get money, right? You see a dude before his drip was a certain thing. They get money and they start dressing weird. And you know what I'm saying? You can tell people they got real people around because they men's to step in and be like, yo, you bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you got on right now, fam? You know what I'm saying? We don't even get down like that. But sometimes though, man, and if for those of y'all who didn't catch it a minute ago, I was talking about Tiger Woods in relation to ego. I think he's a great example. And this also goes to Act, is that you develop this big ego because you're great or good at one specific thing, be it business, sports, media, art, music, entertainment in general, you're good at that. And because you're good at that, you get an ego about you because you know that you're really good at what you've devoted your life to. The problem with that ego, however, is that it gets carried over into life, right? It gets carried over. And now you approach kind of everything with a little bit of that ego because I am who I am. You dig what I'm saying? And it's hard to get that put back in check, especially as a man, because as men, I think we walk fine lines. I think we need to have an ego. I think every successful man has an ego. I think as a man in general, you should have an ego about who the F you are. You dig what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm me. You dig? I ain't trying to be nobody else. I'm Rolex Risky, right? That's the name. It is what it is, right? How I give it up, that's how it is. That's how it's going down. With that being said, I also know that I got to check some of that sometimes, right? Men can't go through life ego tripping. What's that? Who did that? It was a song called Ego Tripping, right? That's an old hip-hop song. Who did that song? Ego Tripping. Damn, who was that? If you know it, I gotta look it up now in a minute. But sometimes you can just have to be ego tripping, right? To where you can't. You see this a lot, I believe. Listen, let me talk my black consciousness-ish. You see this a lot in the black conscious community. A lot of cats standing on ego. What I mean by that is guys will be debating certain topics, and I've yet to hear anybody come back after one of these debates and say, you know what, I was wrong. Right? What they do is they go back, do some more research, come back and double down on their argument. It's okay to be wrong, right? It's not necessarily wrong. Sometimes you just don't have all the information. So I always say my opinion changes when the facts change or when I get more information. So this is the information I have right now. This is the conclusion that I've come up with, right? If I just stick at that conclusion because I came up with that with my research, now that's just ego talking, right? If I'm not willing to listen to nobody, right? If Akademiks is going to come out and talk like this about these pioneers of hip hop, if he's going to come out like this and talk about Reginae Carter like that, and then when people, I know he did, I'm gonna get to that to the Breakfast Club thing. I know he talked to the Breakfast Club. But if people are going to get at him and try to talk to him and he's just not going to want to talk to these people or certain people or people that he perceives are broke or people he perceives as dusty, that's ego talk now, right? That's ego talk, right? Because, listen, man, I'm in this podcast game now. I was in a radio game for a long time as well. If it was a radio dude that came to me, right, that had fallen off, but at one time was doing his thing in radio and wanted to holler at me, I'd be crazy to say, man, this nigga broke. He ain't doing nothing, man. What are you gonna tell me? Nah, that's all ego talking at that point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you can sit back and gain some free game because listen, this thing is moving fast. So what's gonna happen in 10 years? Is Act gonna still be around in 10 years? And if he is he gonna have the same audience? Is he gonna have the same grip that he has on the game as he does now? Is he gonna have that then moving forward? And if he doesn't, now you sit back and say, okay, well, who's going to be calling him old and dusty? Is he going to fall off, right? The pitfalls, the game remains the same. The pitfalls are the pitfalls, right, of the game. We all know what they are. Women, drugs, ego can be a pitfall, right? Sometimes I've seen people lose bags, I've seen men lose bags just because they don't want to say, you know what, dog? Yeah, you know what? My bad. I messed up. That was me. You know what I'm saying? I take that. Nah, too much pride, too much ego, right? So now you don't want to say that, lose out on bag, lose out on this, lose out on that. I'm not saying, bro, to compromise who you are, right? People get that misconstrued when talking about ego sometimes. A lot of people think that people are saying you have to now go back and compromise who you are, right? Nah, bro, you don't got to compromise who you are or what you stand for. If you got a big ego, pause. Right? I ain't saying that. I'm saying you simply have to. I think actually it takes a bigger man. I know that's a cliche thing, but it's a development thing. I think the ego comes natural for a man. I think you have to work and develop to get to that point to where you can acknowledge that, you know what, I'm wrong, or I overreacted, or I'm just out of line, right? And let me fall back and let me listen, right? Let me listen. As men, you know, it's the other thing is the alpha male thing is out there in the ether now, being who's the leader, right? Who's the leader, right? And as men, it's natural competitiveness there, I believe, with every man. at everything, right? Now, me, I pride myself. The one thing I don't compete in is life. And I know people going when people hear that, a lot of times people are like, "Oh, well, that's because nigga you broke." Nah, listen, trust me, I live pretty good, right? I drive pretty good. I drink pretty good. I eat pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I can put cheese on a hamburger. You dig? Um, it's just that like the way I approach life now at my age, I don't look at it as a competition. I don't think that it's something you can win. I don't think it's the Monopoly game. I don't think it's the game of life. You know what I'm saying? I think because you see people, that especially men, I know friends who been friends 15, 20 years fall off because of some petty BS behind material things, right? This person get this, so I gotta go get this now to show him that I'm, you know what I'm saying? And it's all BS, you know what I'm saying? Like from that perspective, in the life perspective, it's like I don't measure my success based on how much things I can accumulate in relation to the things that you've accumulated, right? Um, I'm genuinely happy for any success anybody has. I know a lot of people that have jumped into the radio and podcasting game after me. I know some of them who have gone on to be much more successful than I've ever been in radio, and I know some of them that are doing much better than I do at podcasting. And I don't think any way about it. You know what I'm saying? I salute it. You know what I'm saying? I super salute it. Because I don't have any, and if they call me tomorrow and somebody says, "Yo, can you help me?" And if they're doing better than me and they call me tomorrow and say, "Yo, I know you do podcasting. Hey, what's up with da 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 da?" Even though their podcast is bigger than mine, I don't have an ego to where I'm not gonna lend a helping hand, right? Some people want to say, "Nah, bro, the only way I'm gonna help you is if you do this and this." Nah, bro, I'm gonna give it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna give it a hold on. I missed this Courtney a minute ago. He said, "This must be going back to the Boston thing." I agree unless the rule he broke had to do with levels of position, both head coach. But the head coach is really only over the team. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Everyone should be suspended. Yeah, that's what I was saying a minute ago. Is that when you the coach, you run the team. Yeah, you're the face of a team. I think that's what kind of made it a little bit different because you're the face of authority for that franchise because you're the out front person, right? We don't really know who all these GMs are, how they look, or the owners, right? Until they do or say something stupid. But we know who the coaches are. We can see them all the time, right? So you're the de facto face. And so if that's the thing, man, then yeah, I can understand people coming down on them for that. I can understand that. But outside of that, though, I just think everybody got to get some of this suspension smoke. Everybody catch these suspension bars out here, bro. Because if we're not going to suspend everybody in that Ime Udoka situation, then Boston has effectively shit the bed, and they have now cost themselves potentially a championship. Not saying that I thought they were going to win the championship this upcoming season, but this right here, they're at a pivotal point in their franchise. Again, that's a young team with young players. So they're at a pivotal point in their franchise right now to where that whole thing, if those guys lose confidence in the front office, now do I really want to resign here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to have our coach for a year and he's going to come back. Like, it gets weird. That whole thing gets weird about how they are potentially setting that up. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. See what else we got. Let me see if I got Chris Blake. I might be riding solo for the rest of this until we finish up here tonight, man. I don't know if Chris Blake gonna jump back on. Let me see here. All right, F it, man. We'll keep it popping. I brought him up a minute ago. Adam Levine. Did anybody see Adam Levine with these text messages? This guy. Adam Levine was bugging so hard. Allegedly, he was talking about naming one of his kids with his wife after the side chick. Jesus Christ, bro. What part of the game is that, Adam? Like, you don't even talk like that. You know what I'm saying? To a side piece. Who's even like why oh Jesus. Let me slow down. Let me take my time. You shouldn't even have to talk like that to a side chick. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you talking to a side chick, my guy, and you out here, you know, I don't know, bro. Like, who's running that type of game? who's running who's running that type of game, bro? I hear talking about you gonna name your kids like what? So I had to chalk that up under some real ego ish right there, bro. If you got enough ego that you think, oh, that's not an ego. All right, let me back it. Maybe that's not. That's just BS bullshit game, bro. You sitting here thinking that you telling your side chick can you name your child after your side chick? You know the level of simp that is, bro? That's a totally different level. You're naming your side. It's embarrassing on his part. You know, white folks got to hold that L. why, white folks, y'all got to hold that L. I'm sorry. I like some of them old Maroon 5 cuts. What's the damn CD songs about? Is it Jane? What is it? Yeah. Maybe that's where he got the whole idea from. Was Jane a side piece? Was she a side chick and this dude stepped out and made a whole CD about her? Has this always been his get down? That he jumps out the window. Hold on, let me put up a text message right here. These are text messages from Adam. Hold on. Let me put this up. Hold on. Adam's bugging. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, yeah, this is Adam Levine right here. Hold on, where we go? There we go. Check Adam out right here. Check out Adam right here. It's truly unreal how effing hot you are. Like, it blows my mind. It's her responding. I mean, I think the same. Seeing you in person, I was like, I'm effed. You are 50 times hotter in person. Oh, then he said, and so am I. See, that's that ego part. He had to throw that in. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe he was responding to her, and I'm effed, right? Listen, man, that's just, I don't know. Sometimes when I see like celebrities and their messages, and this is none of our business, let's be clear, but it's out there. So we're going to talk about it, Adam. You know, what are you talking about, my dude? You're a freaking rock star, bro. You don't got to talk to side chicks this way, my boy. You're so freaking hot in person. Like, what? You should be just knocking them off dime a dozen, boom, 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 and keeping it pushing. You dig? Oh, it's crazy, bro. See if I can find some more messages from Adam. And old girl put him out there. I think old girl got, and see, this is some female ego as well, because I'm sure she's claiming she didn't know. Okay, so this is him. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so he's talking about her breast at this point, and she says, thanks. It is, from what I hear. He says, snug and squishy, rubbery, fun to motorboat. He's talking about her ass or her breast? I forget right here. Let me see. Hold on. Is she talk? Oh. Okay, I can't remember which one he's talking about. Anyway, he said it's snug and squishy, rubbery, fun to motorboat. Come on, Adam. What's going on, bro? she was tripping too. She was like, rubbery? And my dude went in and described it as in malleable, strong but flexible, elastic. Oh man, sometimes seeing people's private messages is funny, bro. It's none of our business, but Adam Levine was out here wilding. Adam Levine was out here tripping with himself, bro. Said as in strong but flexible, elastic. Come on, my guy. And again, that ain't got nothing to do with ego. This stuff with Adam Levine. That's just him just being a simp. That's just Adam just that's just Adam just being a simp. Maybe he thought he could get a, but the way he was talking to her, man, when you start talking to somebody, if you know you out here on some side piece stuff, man, we got to go back and have another show. We ain't had that in a while, the rules to having a side piece, because some dudes just be out of pocket about it. You got to know what's going on out here, bro. His game is unique. What game? Ain't no game. Ain't no game there. I'm not like, and again, when you're on that level, do you need to run game at that level? That's what I'm saying. Like at that level, why is game necessary? Right? And again, I'm talking right now. I'm talking on some male ego-ish, right? That's male ego, what I'm telling you right now. But I guess I'm going to venture to guess a lot of men would feel the same way, right? Is they're like, yo, here's where I am. See, look, let's step back. The reason that men typically have this type of ego is because we know how life is set up. And I can't talk about any other country, so I'm just going to talk about right here in the U.S. We know how this is set up over here. Is that once you, as a man, once you attain a certain status, a certain salary, a certain bank account, right? There are certain things that become afforded to you. Oh, we got JC in here. Hold on. Let's get JC up. Let's pull JC up in here. Hold on. Let's get JC up. What up, Jay?
Yo.
It's good, my guy.
Chilling. What's up?
Now, see, JC clearly has no ego because he shaved off his beard. I'm not sure what happened to the hair. It is.
This guy. It was for a very good training, sir. It was for a very good training. Yeah. That's my story, and we're sticking to it.
Okay. What's good though, my guy? You good?
Chilling, man. Chilling. I like the little foam setup you got going on there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I try. We talking male ego, my guy.
Okay.
And we wanted to go specifically male just because while I believe everybody has an ego, I think when we talk about male ego, it's unique. And what I was going into right now is that, and again, I'm only talking about here in the United States. I've never visited or been or lived in any other country, so I can't really speak on how it's set up over there. Although I'll venture to guess similar. Here in America, the way it's set up, and this is why men develop these types of egos, is because the way things are set up over here, we know that if we attain certain things, a certain status, certain bank account, a certain look, right, certain tangibles, we know if we attain these certain things, it brings us certain things, right? Women. Sometimes it also brings us prestige. It brings us I don't know, I don't want to say fans, but it brings us ish, right? When we have this whole, when we attain these things. And that's why men are able to this is how we get these sometimes what people consider inflated egos. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Man, we can abound on this topic, bro. We can definitely abound on this topic, especially myself. I've been to a couple different places, and there's, especially in South America, you have that machismo attitude, where, you know, the man is it, and you got to do as the man says because he said it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Here in America, we got, you know, women got equal rights. You know what I'm saying? So.
Allegedly. Go ahead, my bad. My bad.
This guy said allegedly. And not so. You know, it's just tough because you know, as a man, you gotta. Sorry about that. you got a certain pride, in being a man. You know what I'm saying? So when when you get certain things that'll challenge your pride, that's when things start to beef up and get a little hot, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna be questioning absolutely everything. Once your pride gets challenged, bro, everything comes into question. Can I really do this? Am I confident enough for this? And, am I really who I say I am?
But see, that's why I say that like all successful men have an ego, right? Because you got to have an ego in order for you to say, F all that, I am who I say I am.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In the face of like, this might not work, for you to say, nah, that's me. Cause look, and I don't want to cut your wisdom, but let's talk Kanye. If we talk about Kanye West, everybody can attest that even though Kanye is different than how he was, he always thought very highly of himself, right?
Still does.
Right. In a different way now, but he always was like that. Even when he was unknown, even when he was on the come up, he thought that he was up here, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have a certain level of ego. I think, success, makes that ego inflated. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off like that though.
No. I agree. Success definitely has a big role in a man's ego, but again, that gets put into question when you have people like Kim Kardashian putting up $1 billion for that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to look at all the factors, bro. Is your ego, is it in the right place? Is it the right ego? Should you have that right? That certain ego, because again, if I'm coming up and I got people that are investing in me, it's not just me alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't be like, oh yeah, I'm proud of, like Snoop said, I thank me. I believe in me. I want to thank myself.
Hey.
Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can say that, bro. Okay.
You know what's funny? You see ego a lot. This is an easy place I think everybody can relate to. You see it in music a lot. When you have musical groups or bands, right? Where like these successful groups or bands break up, and it's typically all just ego BS, right?
Yeah.
The lead singer wants to go solo, or maybe they got two singers, and then all of a sudden that person becomes more popular, and the other person is like, I want some more lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no one's saying it like, yo, we are a multi-platinum group. Every time we drop, we're super successful. No, everybody's saying I want, because now it's
because of me.
Yeah, it's because of, you know what I'm saying? And it's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you caught this, but I was saying as men, there's a natural inclination of competition.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we all want to be alpha males.
Yeah. And so there's that natural, and I shouldn't say natural because, in order for there to be an alpha, I always tell everybody this, in order for there to be an alpha, there has to be betas, right? And see, the word beta has become such a dirty word now, right? Because alpha has become such a hot topic word. I'm not saying it. Listen, I don't. That's a whole different podcast for another day. But I'm saying, how can you be an alpha to another alpha? That doesn't make any sense to me, right?
So, yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. Why I say this? Because let me put it in the father-son aspect. So, let's say I'm gonna use it in the way that I know how, right? I'm the alpha male in my family. My pops is the alpha male in his family.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So he is the alpha male to me. You get what I'm saying?
No. Can I say it in a different way though? See, can I say it in a different way?
Go ahead.
You're a beta male to him.
But I'm the alpha male in my family.
See, but no, hold on. You see that was all male ego right there. See, that was male ego. See, that was a perfect example of male ego right there. See, you couldn't just accept the fact that you couldn't just say, yes, I am the beta male to my dad. You had to say, but I'm the alpha male of my family. You see, that's all male ego. I respect it.
But that goes to show you that you can be an alpha male to an alpha male.
No, you're not that. Hold on, what? Hold on, say that again.
You can be the alpha male to an alpha male. So, like I said, my dad, he's the alpha male in his family, and you know, for us as the immediate family, like my brothers, my sister, my mom, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I'm the alpha male to my family, you know, my kids and my wife, and you know, so on and so forth. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be the alpha male to an alpha male. You know, it just you just got to know your place when it comes to be, you know, to your alpha male. You know,
when
what
it's
I'm saying?
time for you to be a beta. That's what you
Exactly.
say. Right?
Exactly. And it takes a mature man. It takes a mature man to understand that he's a beta male when the alpha's in the room. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, hey.
It took you a long time to say that, sir.
Hey, I said it.
See, but that's male. That's a part of that male ego, though, right?
Yeah.
Is that we all kind of want to be that, you know what I'm saying? Want to be that, you know, I guess in charge figure. You know what I'm saying? Want to be that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I hold it down over here. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. Yeah. You need something? Come, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. You know, but it's just not. It's not reality, right? It's not reality that in every situation, you can do it. But again, I think that's a podcast for a different day where I want to talk about that whole beta male. Look. Hey, even Courtney said it. I'm telling you, it took him. He didn't want to say it, but in that specific relationship, you are the beta. It's okay, JC. I know he didn't want to say it. I don't know
What
why
up, Courtney? What's going on, Mr. Jackson?
He didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to just be like, you know, in this relationship, I'm a beta. He had to say, I'm an alpha to an alpha. What?
Hey, I am. My son is gonna be an alpha male one day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the alpha to that.
But how about in your house?
Listen, I'm the alpha. That's all I gotta say.
That's hilarious.
And hey, in my house, I'm the alpha when my wife.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. I think this
You
conversation.
heard?
Again, I don't want to give it away. We can talk about that whole conversation a different day, but I think
you didn't catch that, did you?
You said what?
I said in my house, I'm the alpha male when my wife is away.
No, that's real talk though, man. But no, okay, so we were talking about three things specific. We can go anywhere you want to go with this alpha male thing, though. But the things I brought up that had happened recently that I think it was some ego involved. DJ Akademiks recently came out. He was calling the, you know, he's a young man. Well, he's young. He's 30. Just turned 30. But he's influential in hip hop, and he was calling the pioneers of hip hop. He said a lot of them are broken, dusty, which is effed up to say, right? So you got that. You got Adam Levine, who was out here allegedly cheating on his wife and was sending some wild text messages. He went as far allegedly as to say he was asking his side piece if he could name one of his kids after her, which is some wild-ish. And then you got, of course, Ime Udoka with the Boston Celtics.
Oh,
who, you know, it's going as far now with that situation to where they're saying one of the women he was cheating with at the time they were in a relationship, having a sexual relationship, she was actually speaking with his fiance, mother of his child, and working with her because she was working with her to get them moved down to Boston. So like she would go and like bang him at 2:00, and then her 2:30 appointment would be with his lady because she was coordinating the move from wherever she lives at now to Boston. That's tough, right?
That's
and that's why I was saying it has to be like such a level of ego that I hope that I never get to where you think that you can get away with that. That I can have sex with this woman and then know that she's gonna call my lady, right?
That's
and they're gonna have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that you can't do that, bro. That's disrespectful as heck.
You know, and it's funny though because you're Puerto Rican, right? Allegedly, yeah.
According to my birth certificate.
Yeah. But listen. I'm on my Donald Trump. We ain't never seen it. We need the long.
We ain't never seen it.
We need the long form. Anyway, I think, you know, people always talk about, and you mentioned it. People always talk about, you know, Latin culture with the machismo.
Yes.
I I think, you know, that's kind of like one of the stereotypes of that culture, is that the men all have this ego, so to speak, right?
Yep.
I'm not saying it's true or not, but that's kind of like a, you know, that's something that everybody talks about with the culture.
Man.
Is that something that you see often?
In the Spanish culture, yes.
Yeah.
In the Spanish culture, yes. They even have memes of, you know, of men, you know, saying that they run the households and stuff like that, and it goes into depth, bro. It goes into a lot of depth, bro. Because of the fact that, you know, in the Latin culture, we're the ones, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing in the American culture, in the British culture, whatever other culture. You know, the man is deemed as the provider, right? So as a provider, you got a chip on your shoulder, like, oh, I'll run this, I'll bring the bacon, I'll bring this, and I'll do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of the machismo comes from. That's where a lot of the issues come from with the man. You know, they think that it's all about, and this was my downfall too. You know, where I think everything is about money. You know, I please everybody with money. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. That's not the case. That's part of an ego that we gotta set aside, especially nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we're the breadwinners. You know, if my wife was the breadwinner, if she was the one that was bringing home the bacon, listen, I'd be happy to be a stay-at-home dad and, you know, fix everything and all this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the role. Hey, that's the role that chose me. So now I gotta play it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the a lot of the machismo stuff, man, that comes from the fact that, you know, they're the breadwinners, and, you know, they can't be said, and they can't be told anything, because, you know, that's just, you know.
You know what's funny? You brought up something, right? And this is a super male ego thing, right? It's always a conversation that is had with men about, could you be with a woman who made more money than you do? That's always a conversation people have. It's like, yo, could you be with somebody who made more money than you? That's all ego-ish, right? That has nothing to do with anything. Because if you're a true alpha, if you're truly the head of your household, right? If you truly are holding stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you truly are who you are, right? How much money she makes doesn't change who I am, right?
Exactly.
But you know, that's always a conversation, though. And again, that's
no, with you. And you know what's crazy though, that women don't ask women these questions.
But I think it's an expectation though, that, like, you
but
know,
that's what I'm saying. You won't find.
more.
But that's what I'm saying. You won't find a woman asking another woman, "Do you got a problem that your man makes more money than you?" No, because that's how society's, you know, played up the role.
Right.
But if you ask a man, "Hey, you got an issue with your lady making more money than you, bro?" If they say yes, listen, check your ego at the door, brother. Because if my wife is making $200,000-$300,000 a year, you think I'm gonna be complaining? Nigga, I'm gonna be rolling up in my little Range Rover that she bought for me.
There you go.
Listen, it's my turn to sit and chill.
Yeah, because I think a lot of dudes get into this whole thing of, can I still be a man if my lady's making more money than me?
Yes, you can.
See, that's the argument, is that, like, now, because
so all right,
maybe it's not a man thing though. Maybe once it becomes the money, maybe it's the way that woman is gonna act now that she has that money, right? Now, because she's making more money, so now is she emasculating you now, right? Can she, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you able to still, if she's bringing in 200,000 and you bringing in your, you know, hardworking 50,000, it's a hardworking 50 though. It's a hardworking 50.
Yeah, a save with sweat and tears.
Yeah, but you're bringing your 50,000 in, and she's bringing this 200,000 in, and then you tell her, "Hey, we need to take some of this money and do this," and she's like, "No, I don't want to do that." You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool.
Are we ending this relationship now?
I mean, there has to be some type of mutuality. There has to be some type of, how can I even put it, man? Like you have to be able to. As men, we gotta set our pride aside, man. We gotta set our pride aside, and I say this for myself, because this is something that I struggle with every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, I love to go to work and provide for my family. I love doing that, but hey, sometimes this is an ego check, bro, and it hit me this past week. It's not all about that, man. Family time is important. Family time is important, and that's why I wouldn't have an issue with with my lady making $200,000 a year. If she can make it, more power to it, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That just shows how independent she is. You know what I mean? How strong-headed she is, and we're gonna clash, obviously, but can we come to an agreement?
I think if let me say this. I think it takes a certain type of woman, however, though.
Agreed. I know where you're going with it.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with it.
We all, because we have conversations on Wednesday nights a lot of times about things like submission.
Mm-hmm.
And the women always clap back with, "Oh, I'll submit to a man that I know." You know what I'm saying? It's always like a they know when they know thing, right? But I think it's a certain type of woman, though, that when you're talking about who's the leader, who's the head of the household, a woman always comes back with, "Well, if what's the thing that it's a popular thing in the Black community right now. I think it was brought up by Jill Scott. You can't lead me if you can't lead me. You can't lead me if you can't lead me," or something like that, right? Like I can't follow you if you can't lead me, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're saying that, like, what I'm saying, like, if you're not strong enough, if you're not that alpha, whatever it is, like you gotta, what I'm saying, be that. That sounds good, right? That sounds good. No one ever demonstrates the practicality of that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like, right? Because now we're talking, he makes $50,000. He works hard, he makes his $50,000. You make $200,000, Ma. At a certain point, you have to, I believe now, because typically if you're making that much money, you're in a position to where you're probably, I don't want to say in charge necessarily, but you're definitely commanding a lot of attention, right? You're making it moving, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to step back and let this person lead. You know what I'm saying? You got to let them effort lead. You know what I mean? Like in team sports, right? Just because you're a good player, you got to let your coach. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like LeBron James is great, but he, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yo, you need a coach though. He's calling the plays.
You know what's crazy, bro?
I'm not saying, when I say that, I'm not saying like the man is like the, you're just a player on the team. Y'all are both a team. Y'all are on the same team. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy that you use that analogy, because this past week I was in a training, and I had a whole bunch of military vets there. People who just recently came out recently were discharged, and people who've been in 20 plus years. A whole bunch of military vets, bro. And I was selected to be the group's supervisor for the training, right?
Right.
And I got no military experience. Who am I kidding? I would never say that I do, because I don't.
You were scared. Go ahead.
But this guy. So being in that setting, taking control of the team, and being the head of the team, and telling them how to get stuff done and doing things and whatnot during this training, a lot of them were gave me backlash, bro. A lot of them were talking about me behind my backs, and saying I wasn't fit to be a leader because I had no military experience. That who am I to be telling them what to do and this and that, right? So I got up in front of the team and I told them straight up, I was like, listen, man, I don't give a damn how much military experience you guys have. In the private sector, you guys don't know nothing. The rules of engagement, what you can and can't do, the technicalities, everything, the rules, the laws are different in the private sector than when they are in the military. So the fact that you're sitting here and I'm leading you should tell you enough. Okay? 7+ years in the private sector, working private security from everywhere from the armored uh, transport all the way to personal protection. You know what I'm saying? There's things that I've done that y'all don't even know about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? SWAT training, tactical patrol officer training, all the personal protection for the celebrities, for the governor himself, like things that I've done that people don't even understand, bro. So as I'm unwinding and telling them all the experiences and whatnot, everybody's like, "Damn, we didn't even know that." I was like, "Obviously, because you guys are in a military mindset." And you know what? With that being said, with your military mindset, you should understand who when you're before a figure of authority, you should learn to accept it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's male legal this past week was checked. It was, bro. When I tell you,
except yours, but go ahead.
except mine, 'cause I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Nah, mine was checked too. Don't get it twisted, bro. Running into a burning building with a whole bunch of smoke and you can't see within 5 centimeters in front of you, bro. That's gonna check your ego big time.
Yeah, but
Big
like
time.
the thing about leadership though, in dealing with ego specifically in leadership is that like, but you know the old saying, before you can lead, you first got to learn how to follow, right?
Boom.
You got to learn how to listen to somebody. And like in a relationship, man, just going back to the analogy with the whole thing with your lady makes more money than you. Listen, bro, in a relationship, if you're in a relationship with a woman, I tell these young dudes all the time, listen, fam, if that woman is better than you at something, let her take point on that. Don't try to fight her on that. Let her do that. If you sit back and say, damn, she's good at this. Okay, hey, when it comes for that, hey, babe, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah. Let her do that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
That's actually you being a good leader, right?
100%. I was about to say,
Recognizing that you don't know what the hell you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to tell you that right now. Dr. Chon, or whatever his name is, he said, why is it necessary for me to know everything? It's not. I'd rather have a team that knows it all, that we can work together and be successful and share the wealth, than for me to know it all and have to teach people continuously, and the stress is all on me.
This is facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
having a team and being able to delegate the work, knowing that this is not your area of expertise, bro, it doesn't mean that you're a bad leader. It just means that you know how to delegate the work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a military vet and I know how to do this and do that. And nah, I got airborne paratroopers on my team. I got Army Rangers on my team. I got Marines. I got Air Force and Navy corpsmen that are on my team. And guess what? A lot of the things that I don't know, hey, let's go kick down some doors. I got a FBI certified sniper on my team, bro. You think I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I know how to be a good sniper? No,
Right.
hell no. And it goes back to saying, listen, if my wife knows how to do something better than me, hey, by all means, baby girl, come here, show these niggas up. Legit.
Yeah, man. Listen, as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we grow up and we're taught certain things, we're raised a certain way. Hopefully, if you're raised the right way, man, you're like striving for certain stuff in life. And it's like, what happens is you have to get to a point to where you say, if you like, I believe, and I've said this 3, 4, 5 times now, I believe as a man, if you've achieved success, there's a certain level of ego that comes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's conscious or subconscious, right?
Yeah.
You deal security, and you've done security at like events, and you've been around celebrities, right? Sometimes they're not even trying to be a-holes, right? It's just a certain ego they have about like, listen, when you have a writer that says, I need when I show up at the venue, I need 30 chicken wings, I need a certain type of water, I need this and I need that. I don't go on stage before a certain time. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, bro, goddamn. it's 9:30. You got to go on stage at 10. Okay, cool. Whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Like, but like you've been around these people though, right? Dealing in that security to where you've seen people come in with their teams. Unfortunately, a lot of these teams are just yes men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot
real,
of these
bro.
teams are just yes men. But I think in relationships, hold on, let me see. Courtney Jackson said delegating is a critical leadership skill. That's facts.
1,000%, bro.
That's facts. Because as a leader, first of all, you should know what everybody else on your team can do.
Exactly.
And if they can't do something, you should be able to train them on doing that, right?
That's it.
You know what I mean? So
and if you can't train them, get the people that can.
Yeah. And I said this a minute ago, Jay, right before you jumped on. I was talking about just life in general. Unfortunately, a lot of men get caught up in playing the whole competing that life game, right? Yeah. To where it's like, oh shit, the nigga JC got a new car. Shit, let me step my game up. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get this. You know what I'm saying? This nigga he think he all that now. You like, to me, I've never looked at life at that type of a competition. I understand that men are competitive in all aspects. I've never looked at it like that, but I get it, right? I understand why some people do, because people are motivated by different things. More importantly, what do you think? That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. What do you think motivates men most in life? Money or like I don't know. Like power, right? The power motivates men the most. That's the most. Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be in a leadership position, bro. Nobody wants to sit back and let others lead. Everybody wants to lead. And I saw that firsthand this past week, bro, where again, you got a whole bunch of people saying, hey, like literally, you know, you got a whole bunch of people asking for supervisory positions, see if it's opened up, you know, if they got any type of leadership position opened up, or, you know, they start talking about the leaders because they feel like they're not, you know, capable enough to lead or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So power is, listen, that is the man, the heart of the man's desire is power. No matter where they stand, they want to be respected. That's power. No matter what they say, you better agree with it. That's power, bro. That's everything is power, bro. You know, jealousy is, you know, you can look at it and it's a type of power that people want to possess because, you know, they feel that you're incapable of doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And I have a personal issue with that because at work, you know, we have one of the lead supervisors ask other officers and whatnot about me, and you know, try to figure out what my power play was going to be, and you know what I was doing, trying to figure me out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, I'm just working. I'm just working. I'm not trying to step on your toes. I'm not gunning for your job. First of all, I don't want to be a lead supervisor because that just entails more responsibility, and it doesn't pay me enough. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you know the saying though about power though, what they always say: absolute power corrupts absolutely.
100%.
Like. And the other saying is, with great power comes great responsibility. Like it's always around the power. You know what I'm saying? Like we just had the funeral of the Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Over there in the UK, right? I know people say, well, the Queen, that whole thing is just like what do they say? That's more like a symbolic thing, right? Like they don't really rule anything. It's more symbolic. I'm not gonna argue with them because I don't live over there, but people were standing outside for 13 hours to see a body. That seems a little bit more than symbolism to me. And even if it is symbolism, even if it is just symbolism, I think you would agree with this, JC. Symbolism probably is the most powerful thing on this planet.
100%.
Like, what's more powerful than symbolism? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, when people say, oh, it's just symbolic, when you say symbolic, do you understand the power that word carries?
Yeah,
because it's not just a you know, oh, it's just, you know, it's just a tradition of, you know, passing on the torch and just it's a facade. No, it's not.
Yeah,
you know, symbolism and what it represents That's where the power lies.
If I see you wearing a cross around your neck, that symbolizes something, right? If I see you wearing a 6-pointed star, that symbolizes something. You know what I'm saying? And both of those symbols are very, very powerful.
Very powerful.
You know
Very powerful.
So,
I think the two most powerful symbols in the world today.
Right. Yeah.
And that's hands down, because Catholicism is the greatest, it's the biggest religion in the world.
I agree.
And they're big on the cross.
That's
and
fact.
then you got the Jewish heritage and the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, which is the most loved people in the world.
Yeah.
And they have the Star of David. So if you see with a 6-point star, bro, like, come on, man. So symbolism is a big deal.
Yeah.
So people got to be careful when they say, oh, it's just symbolic. Nah. With that symbolism comes a whole bunch of, a whole lineage, a whole heritage, a whole belief system, a whole, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts. I thought it was very funny when people just kept trying to write it off as, oh, it's just symbolic. They don't really do anything. I think it's because, you know, it was the whole thing behind the monarch. Y'all jump up in this chat, man. I want my dudes in the chat to let me know. Check your ego at the door right now for my fellas in the chat. Let me know.
Check it.
Would you be comfortable being with a woman that made significantly more money than you? I'm not saying more money because, you know what I'm saying, $1 is more. No. She makes significantly more money than you.
Like you coming home with a good 60,000 and she's coming home with at least
100,
20, 40, maybe even 50,000 more than you did.
Right. That's what I'm saying. She makes significantly more money than you. Are you cool? Do you feel like you can still be who you are? Right? Because see, that's the thing, man. People that been knowing me, they know I've never been a flashy dude about like money, and that ain't ever my get down. Yeah, I've always been a dude, you know, I'm gonna dress the way I dress, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look how I look in terms of like my drip. But I ain't never been a dude that like was, even when I could, like, it's funny. I got a closet full of like, and this is from years ago when I was on some young dumb stuff. I got a bunch of like chains and necklaces and bracelets and rings and shit. I don't wear it now. I bought the shit. I never wore it then when I bought it. You know what I'm saying? It was just something to buy. It was just never really my thing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it at some point. And I never found a reason to wear it, right? Because what I realized was I'm really not even into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I bought it for no reason. So y'all jump in the chat. Let me know, fellas, if y'all could be with the woman who was making more money than you, right? That's a male ego hit. I know. I'm telling you, it's a male. If she's making significantly more money than you, could you ride that out and be like, you know what? Nah, that's my lady. I love her. That's my boo and I love her. Because trust me, I can't wait to be a kept man. I've worked way too hard for way too long.
You know what's crazy, bro? You talk about male egos. You know how you got like NBA players, football players, baseball players that fly women out.
Let's
give
go.
Them a bag.
Talk that talk. Let's go, JC.
And give them some cash. Send them back home.
Give them some vitamin D. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna allow WNBA players to fly us men out?
I heard about somebody that got
give us a little bell.
I heard about somebody that got flued out by a WNBA player. That's another question. So it's two questions now. One. The first question is, would you be okay if your lady made significantly more money than you? That's number one. Number two is, would you be down to get flued out by a stud from the WNBA? I'm playing, not a stud. I'm playing. That's a joke. Shout out to my LGBTQ. I'm playing. Y'all know I love the WNBA. First of all, Asia Wilson. I've loved Asia Wilson since she was at Asia was at South Carolina. I'm
a Candace Parker fan to the
I I met Candace Parker when she was a senior in high school. I think I was a sophomore in college, maybe a junior. No, a sophomore. I don't remember. But she chose up heavy on my homeboy. We met her. I met her at a Cubs game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her team was singing. They were doing the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." They had just won the state. They had just won the state title in basketball.
Okay.
I didn't meet her. Let me not say that. I didn't meet her. Me and my homeboy walking. We were in at Wrigley Field. We were walking down, and they were walking up to the press box, and they passed us. And all we see is this tall ass bright skin girl. Like, who the fuck is this? Right? We don't know who the fuck she even is. And
would you allow yourself to get flown out by Candace Parker?
Me? If I was a single man, why not?
She said, "Hey Roy, I got some, I have some spare time. You got a day off. I'm gonna fly you over." All right, I'm just saying.
Yeah, listen, I'd get flued out. Now listen, after we have sex, she's gonna have to hold me though. I don't want to feel like a piece of meat. She gonna have to.
Oh man!
I need to be held. I need to be held.
Doesn't the saying go? They pay you to leave, not to stay.
Well, no. She gonna have to hold me. She gonna have to cuddle a little bit.
So what you're telling me is that you're okay with being the little spoon?
No. I gotta be the big spoon. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, you just said you want her to hold you.
No, I want her to like I want to be the big spoon, but I want her to like grab my arms too, though, from like the little spoon position. Like, come on now.
Hey, but
snuggle up.
I think she's taller than you, though. I don't know how that'll work.
She may be. I don't give a damn. No, what? That's if you standing up. We're laying down now. See, it's different when you're laying down.
This is true.
It's different because somebody asked. Here's what's fun. Somebody asked Kevin Hart. They said, "Hey man, you're pretty short, man. How do you do 69?"
You gotta be kidding me, bro. How is that even? Listen, that question ain't even.
Because they would say he's so short, they didn't.
Bro.
But Kevin Hart had to remind them, hey, you do know that like height is based on typically your legs, right? Like your torso is a little bit bigger, but it's mostly your legs, bro. Like, let's be honest. You know
literally.
So yeah, that's my point. Yeah, you're laying down, bro. So yeah, I'm the big spoon. I need her to make sure she's reaching that hand back and she's cuddling with me, bro.
Okay.
She don't gotta cuddle all night. I need at least 30 minutes. I need 30 minutes after we do it.
It's not a dump and go.
I need hold on. I got if a WNBA player is gonna have me flued out, the rules of engagement are this. Number one, I gotta be on top. Number two. Number two, we're gonna cuddle a minimum of 30 minutes after we do this, ma'am. And then number three, hey, like these, I'm like these women that get flued out. I don't fly Spirit, ma'am, or Allegiant, or JetBlue. I need to be on Delta. American. Goddamn me. Shit. Yeah. Shit. Let's get it.
Niggas gonna get flown out in a little charter plane.
Yes, Courtney. I got parameters. These are my WNBA. Listen, first of all, I'm married, but if I wasn't married, shout out to my WNBA players. I love the WNBA,
bro.
If Skylar Diggins and I know Skylar's married, I know. Shout out to Skylar, but if she was to fly me out, if I'm getting flued out, God damn it, I'm on top. We're gonna cuddle 30 minutes after, and I don't fly Spirit, Skylar. God damn it, don't put me on no cheap ass airline. Frontier, hell out of here.
Oh man.
You better fly shit. I'm not getting on that. That's a hell of a question, JC.
Hey, we checking our egos, right?
Yeah, I'm checking that. Listen, you gotta check. But you know what's funny? Talking about the WNBA made me think about just women. I think what percentage of male ego do you give to women? I think women play a big part, or can potentially play a big part in a man's ego. Because you got to think about it before you answer. There's different types of ego. There's certain men that have an ego because they know that, yo, I'm a good looking motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Wherever I go, women are always choosing. You know what I'm saying? That's a certain ego. There are other men who have an ego because they may think, yo, I may not like, they know, like, yo, nigga, I got that bag. So when I come in here, I got that money. So I know women gonna be choosing, right? So there's different types of things that give you your ego. But I think ultimately for men, women are always a byproduct of that ego, right? Like,
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? So, like, what percentage of that? Ime Udoka, he's literally risked his entire coaching future behind having sex. What say you?
That was like a 99.91 percentage that he was being influenced by a woman. Bro, I want to say it's like a 70-30 type deal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because most things men do is for women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
How men dress. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, men are fashionable. Why does he have a tape measure in his hand?
Bro, I've been looking for that tape measure for God knows for centuries, bro. It's a 30-foot tape measure, bro. This shit is expensive.
This guy. But back to the lecture at hand. What role do women play in a man's ego? Because men, the reason they get dressed a certain way is because of women. The reason they strive so hard typically to try to achieve financial success is because I know that if I get this level of financial success, I now am going to have access to a certain demographic of women. That's just reality. Women, don't talk to me. Talk to yourself. Don't talk to me because that's reality, right? That's reality. We were just talking about, I was disappointed in Adam Levine, lead singer of Maroon 5, for sending out them simp-ass text messages. Let me give you Exhibit A of his simp-ass text messages. He's talking about, I don't know if he's talking about her ass or her breast, but he says, she starts off by saying, thanks. It is from what I hear. He says, snug and squishy, rubbery, fun to motorboat. She says, rubbery? Question mark. He says, as in malleable, strong but flexible, elastic. This nigga's explaining what the hell rubbery means, which is goofy as hell.
My God.
So he's a clown. But bro, I say that because somebody in Adam Levine's position, typically, he shouldn't have to send out weird ass text messages like that, right?
Women, bro, you're the lead singer. You're the lead singer of a group that has been successful for what, the past 20 plus years?
Almost coming up. They came out around 2002-ish. Yeah, so coming up. 20 years. There you go. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah, you're right,
bro. Come on, man. Like you really gotta stoop that low.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, bro. It's just.
So you said women are 70%. They play a. You say are you saying they 70% or 30% of a man's ego?
30%.
30%. Okay.
I'll say 30%. Because the other 70, it's on us. The other 70 is on us. You know what I'm saying? Well,
watch it. I need somebody to read these. Watching your ass jiggle on that table will permanently scar me, but otherwise I'm amazing. What?
What the hell?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Adam, man. Listen, he's trying.
Why though? Why? Like, his wife is beautiful.
Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's never had to deal. Listen, when you've been a celebrity, like you just said, for 20 years, you know how long it's been since he had to actually talk to a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like when you like married. And again, that's a whole fact. But again, this is why men will work so. This is what women got to understand. This is why men will work so hard day and night to become successful. Is because they think, and it's based on very good research, that once I attain this level, I don't have to have these weird ass conversations with women anymore. Right? Women are now going to flock to me because of what I can potentially provide for them. Whether it be just status, because some women just want to be around you just to say, oh, I was at such and such with this person. He owns this restaurant or he owns this place. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He runs whatever the hell. That's a status. Or look at what he bought me, right? He got a bag. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays, it's about who you know and
right.
Not what you can do for yourself, but who can get you in.
What can Brown do for you?
Bro, I think that's the part that annoys me the most, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here trying to make a name for myself, bro, for my family. And you got other people making a name for themselves through who they know to try to make it to the top instead of actually working for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're working through other people's names instead of working for their own name. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, though.
And that's what bothers me, bro. That's what bothers me, because everything I do, and I know again, not everything has to do with work and all that good stuff, but everything that I do as far as work is literally for my family, to build my family. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the factors. It's one of the factors. And as men, we gotta learn to, we gotta learn to, again, set the ego aside. And if you're trying to build an empire, you're gonna need a partner. And she's gonna be that, that he or she, like I mean, I don't say it, but you say it, right? He or she, they, them,
the LGBT.
He, her.
You did?
Oh man. Anyways, you got to be able to work things out, man. Again, if my lady's making more money than me, it doesn't make me less of a man. It just says I got other responsibilities I got to adhere to while she's over here making the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can tell you one thing about me and my wife since we've been together is that, like, I've definitely have to check, over the course of a relationship, you learn a lot about the other person, right? If you're spending a lifetime with this person, you learn a lot about them. You learn what they like. You know what buttons to push when you want to piss them off, right?
100%.
You know exactly what you need to say, what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
And I've, I don't know if she would, she might still be annoyed by it, but I know that I've become better at trying to not be over the top, like controlling my anger about certain stuff, right? Like like I don't want to like have to yell anymore about certain things, right?
Right.
Like my thing is, everybody gets in an argument. That's the thing about relationships. Again, we talk about this on Wednesday nights as well. But, the thing about relationships is, when you're in a romantic relationship, there are arguments, right? About whatever the hell it's going to be about. It's an argument. And it is what it is, right? Now, what I always tell young people when they're in relationships, if they want to solicit my advice, I always provide it. And I say, yo, if you're going to argue, that's fine. That's a part of being in a relationship. But don't argue dirty. And what I mean by don't argue dirty is don't throw low blows while you argue it. You know what I'm saying? Like, argue based on that argument. Don't be arguing about why didn't you, I don't know, why didn't you wash these dishes? And then start talking about something that happened last week. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
And, well, whatever, because you didn't. Well, no. Now, you know what I'm saying? You're going somewhere different with it. And I think as a man, sometimes with me and my wife, you know, when we were younger in our relationship, I would want to like, well, I don't care what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. I said this and that's it. And I'm walking off now. You know what I'm saying? And it's two things that have happened. One, I've been able to check my ego a lot to not do that.
Mm.
And two, my wife has grown some fucking thick skin over this time. And she'd be like, nah, I'm getting my shit off. You ain't walking off. No. Hold on. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know now that the way my wife communicates now, this far into our relationship, shit, we've been knowing each other since we started first dating when I was like 13 and she was 12. We broke up obviously for a very long time and got back together years later in our 20s. But the way she communicates now is that like she knows when she needs to be like put her foot down and stand on certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because she's like, yo, you're not gonna push me over on this. I'm gonna stand on this. And it's not being disrespectful. It's not her cursing at me, calling me stupid, this and that. No. It's just that like she's being firm in her stance, and it is what it is.
No, yeah. With my wife, it's a little different. You know, we pull each other's hair.
This guy.
No, I'm just messing. We slap each other around sometimes. You know.
You got to. No, but
yeah, nah, but she's listen. When I tell you she's a stern lady, bro. And it'll take a lot to move her from where she's standing. You know what I'm saying? But she owns up to it a lot. Whenever she knows that she's wrong. She owns up to it, And me, I'm still working on it because again, my male ego. You know what I'm saying? Instead of breaking down and knowing how to address her when she's feeling a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? And or thinking that she's trying to fight when she's just trying to talk. Stuff like that. You got to check your ego, bro. Got to check your ego.
You know what's helped me a lot is that, different from you, I am a girl dad.
Oh.
Right? And so, like, it's me, my wife, my two daughters. We got a female cat.
Oh, my God.
It's nothing but estrogen in our house, right?
Even the turtle?
Oh, we got a female turtle. The turtle's a female. No cap. That's that. And I checked it to make sure. Yeah, our turtle Angel is a female. And having that dynamic in the house, you learn that like, yo, it's like for the good dads out there who have nothing but if you have all daughters, man, there's a way that you have to talk to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got my nephew doesn't live too far from me, so I go get my nephew. He comes over. The way I communicate with him is different, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's a certain way that and I know people gonna have something to say about what I'm finna say right now. I know. I'm sorry. I'm an old man. This is one thing that maybe I'm a little bit more traditional about. The way I handle little boys or young boys, let me not say that. My nephew, that sounded weird. The way I talk to my nephew and the way that I talk to my daughters is different. And it's not because he's my nephew, it's because he's a boy. If he was my niece, I would talk to him the same way I talk to my daughters. But he's my nephew. And so the way I deal with him and the way I talk to him, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. I'm sorry.
And in my house, we're predominantly male.
Right.
I only got one girl. And I'm tough as hell on her. Because I'm used to talking to the boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the good thing about my wife, man. Like she's literally been the only person to teach me how to deal with my children. You know what I'm saying? And I say this I say this with the utmost respect to the people around me in the past, but fuck y'all. She's been the only person to literally teach me how to deal with my daughter, how to deal with my son, how to talk to them, and be a parent to them, and not just the discipliner. You know what I'm saying? Because as a discipliner, you're just stern all the time, and all the time you don't need to be a discipliner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, shout out to my wife for that. Yes, I'm still in the traditional stages where, I want my daughter to be a girl, and I want my son to be a male, be a boy.
Shout out to Zaya. Shout out to Zaya Wade. But go ahead.
I don't know who that is.
Shout out to Zaya Wade. We not gonna disrespect Zaya Wade and the Wade family, but go ahead.
I don't know who that is.
We're not gonna disrespect, but go ahead.
I don't know who that is. I know who my kids are. I don't know who that is. And I just it's you as a parent, as a male figure in your children's life, or let me rephrase that. Me as a male figure in my children's life, as a heterosexual male. As a heterosexual man, there ain't no allegedly here, brother. Ain't no allegedly here, babe. Babe, come hither.
let them know.
No, they listen. I'm gonna introduce the my lady to the world.
Oh,
Hey, come here, sexy.
Oh,
come here, Lord. Don't ignore me.
Hey, why you doing that? Let me read this real quick. Because I'm a man of the word. I wanted to make sure I had the correct verse. I had the wrong verse. It's Proverbs 18 and 22.
Okay, come on, talk to me.
Proverbs 18 and 22 says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. That's Proverbs 18 and 22. Okay, I just wanted to go there for a second.
Come on, somebody.
Let's get back to this Adam Levine text messages.
But you know what's crazy though? No. Let's abound on that. Let's abound on that. Because it says, he that finds a wife, not he that finds a girlfriend and then later makes him a wife, but he that finds a wife, meaning a woman that has already been tested, a woman that has already gone through the trials and tribulations to become the woman that she is today. She is not a girlfriend. She is a wife. You're not looking for little girls. You're looking for a woman who can challenge you and make you a better man. That he who finds a wife, that's what that means. Not he who finds, a little girlfriend, makes her a little fiance, then makes her no. If you find a woman and you because obviously you want to be with that person. From the minute you a lot of people be like, nah, BS. Because when I saw my wife for the very first time, I knew for a fact that she was gonna be mine forever. How did you know, JC? How did you know? Let me tell you.
Well, no. Don't tell us. We're gonna have a whole show about that.
All right, bet.
We need to have a show.
I'll hold that one.
Yeah, you see how I did that? Yeah, we got to talk about that. Here go Adam Levine. No, Adam Levine said,
"Whoa,
I do anything for it." He said, "I may need to see that booty."
Oh my God.
He said, holy effing F. That body of yours is absurd. Next date, I'll be like, do you want to make out with the devil? Ha 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 ha. No, that's what she said. Do you want to make out with the devil? And he was like, ha ha ha.
Wait a minute.
Oh man.
Wait a minute. Adam Levine, what's wrong with you, dude?
These are all allegedly. Shout out to Adam. No, man. He's having Adam's having a bad week. He's having a bad week.
You don't say.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I'm not making this up. I got in my damn car, and you know how like when you get in your car, your phone automatically connects to your car.
Yeah.
So I jump in my joint, it automatically connects and it starts playing my iTunes automatically, right?
Yeah.
And it just shuffles. And I swear, I was working on the show, getting everything set up for the show. I jumped in my car. First thing that came on was goddamn Maroon 5. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and my feet ain't left the ground.
Oh man,
that it was crazy. I was like, what?
You know, it's funny. I was listening to Maroon 5 on the way over here, back from Houston. I was in H-Town this week. H-Town. Shout out to NASA, baby. I wasn't over there, but shout out to them.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, they're saying that's not Houston. That's like,
that's LaPorte, Galveston area.
Yeah, they get love too.
Yeah, they get a little love. But coming back from LaPorte, bro. By the way, there's a campus out there that's absolutely beautiful, bro. Beautiful. But anyways, coming back from over there, we were listening to Maroon 5. And I, to be honest with you, I haven't kept up with social media for a long time, so I don't, I wasn't aware of all this BSery that's happening.
BSery.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, none of these guys want to admit that they got an ego they need to deal with, or what? I'm pressing, yo. Y'all better come up in here and tell me I'm wrong, but y'all weak-minded. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it again on Wednesday. I'm gonna bring up those things again on Wednesday because I want to talk about that, man. I think that's interesting. Those two questions. Number one, would you be okay with getting flued out by a WNBA player? And number two, you cool with your lady making more money? That's all male ego at this point, right?
100%.
So we want to talk about that. We want to get into all of that. We'll get into some of that tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's show is going to be entitled "Don't Be Surprised He Cheated." We're talking about specifically the Ime Udoka situation because we want to deal with it from the standpoint of Ime Udoka and Nia Long, because in the black community, Nia Long is one of them ones. She's one of them ones that that's Nia Long. I remember Nia Long from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. Lisa from Fresh Prince was a bad MF.
Listen.
Or when she was in Friday.
Listen.
Right?
Listen.
When she was in Friday, and with that little short haircut, when she came over to Craig's house and Craig is trying to talk to her.
Listen.
Yo, she came by running. Hey. She was like, hi, guys. Hey. It's going down.
Dang.
Yeah. She's one of them ones. So everybody cheat on Nia Long. And I'm going to explain to everybody exactly how you can cheat on Nia Long tomorrow night. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night where I explain to you exactly how it is that you can cheat on Nia Long and everybody else. It's not exclusive to Nia Long. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that fly stuff, man. We do appreciate. Thanks you. JC came through tonight like Mariano Rivera. He came through.
Damn, man, baby.
He came through here, man. We needed a closer. I was in turmoil. Me and Chris Blake was on for like 15 minutes, and then Chris Blake's entire internet just died.
Oh my god!
And I was on here for like 20 minutes by myself.
Hey, that's funny, bro. Chris got that Metro PCS internet out there, and
that nigga got some dial-up.
He's still on that AOL.
Yeah, that nigga had some dial-up. That dial-up wasn't working, man. But shout out to JC, the original OG. Shit, hell, most of this behind me, the Melanin Lounge, JC built. Shit. Shout out to JC. You dig? I got this up. I'm working on some stuff back here. I don't want nobody to see what I got back here right now, but I'm working on some stuff. Don't get it twisted. Y'all tune in tomorrow night, man. We coming back tomorrow on the channel, No Strings Attached. Let me get where my music at, man. I didn't get the chance to play my music when we came in. Let me make sure I play my theme music on the way out as we get up out here for the night. Man, we got to make sure we keep in check that male ego, and we out of here. Peace.